Hi and welcome to my PlayHouse, and today we're outside. It's really early morning on a Saturday. I get up early. Just to prove that, this is the garden and it's dark outside, so I've had to put up lights to film myself because this camera doesn't have a light. I forgot to check that when I bought it, but I have a product here that I want to install today. It's a lock for my door. This is a Yale Doorman. It's the model V2N. This is, well, it's available here in Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland, and it also speaks English. But because of the locking mechanism and how the door is made and all such stuff, well, it's not gonna be that usable in much of the world. I'm sure you could alter the door for it to fit, but well, this fits a standard door here in Denmark. And that also goes for our Swedish, Norwegian and Finnish brothers and sisters. They have kind of the same door types. So I bought this really cheap off my intern at work. He had bought this really cheap because he had some friends that was at an opening sale at a electronics store, so they got it for him really cheap. He found out that it did not fit his door, and I bought it really cheap from him. So yeah, this is a really expensive lock. Well, from 2,300 Danish kroners to about 2,700 Danish kroners here, and I paid 1,000 Danish kroners for it. And when we get it out, I have had it out of the box, but when we take it out of the box, we will see that it's brand new. So the reason my intern was not able to use this was because his door locks at the bottom and at the top as well. Mine only locks in the middle, which means that I can use this Yale Doorman. And what does this do? Well, this is a keyless door lock. It means that you can punch in a code and you can get access, or you can have one of these little RD tags that you put on top of it and it can open the door. So yeah, I want to play with that. You can also get an extra thing that makes this more home automatic aware, but I don't have those pieces. So let's open this. Let's get it out. It's kind of heavy. They have cheated and put metal in it, so that's a good thing when you're talking about a lock. On the box there is different information: Swedish, Norwegian, Denmark, Monday to Friday, Saturday to Sunday. Okay, and here is all the features: batteries, pin code, key tag they call it. It's a key tag, pin code, 24-hour code, home away, auto lock, voice guide. It talks to you. A bit scary, right? So here it is, very nice plasticky thingy. There's a manual, and they very strongly recommend that you read the manual, which yeah, it's not that common that it's in Swedish, Norwegian, Danish and English in that order. That's a new one. Then there is, well, they have actually added a sheet here if you want to fix your existing door. If it's not a standard Nordic door, well, here is the how to fix that and get it working anyway. So thank you very much. So this is the lock itself, which goes inside of the door. It looks very hefty and strong and cool. So nice. When you're dealing with security and locking things, you want tough stuff. Then there is some kind of a drill protection thing that you put on, and as this lock can go on both sides, well, if your door swings out this way, you have to configure it one way. If it swings out that way, you have to configure it another way. So this plate, which I'm just gonna be trying to put on, well, it can go on both sides. This could be one side, and you could turn it around and it would go on the other side, and that depends on which way your door swings. Batteries are included. Awesome. This thing is the one that goes in your the other side. Well, the lock goes into like so, and yeah, you get it. And then there's these key tags, key pins. What were they called again? Key tag. Okay. I count 3 of those. So yeah. We have a bunch of screws and nuts and yeah, and a little Allen wrench, another little Allen wrench. We have some other screws and we have some accessories. If the door is very different, well, some of these sizes might need to change. Also, there's an extra locking pin. If I cut that wrong, I need another one. More screws and more screws. Okay, then we have the lock or the handle here. This is what goes on the inside. In here is the batteries, and I need to find a Torx to get. Maybe that Allen wrench will actually fit there. So yeah, we'll be getting into that soon. And we have the outside part here. As this can go on both sides of the road. Well, right now the handle is not. Well, you know, you decide which way it has to go. It has a nice feature down here. There's a battery terminal. If the batteries run out on the inside of the door, the battery compartment is in here. Well, you can actually stick a 9-volt battery to it and get access by powering it from the outside. So yeah, that's all the parts. We have to be very careful not to damage the cables here. Yeah, let's move it. I need to take my old lock out. So here's my old lock. It's a regular analog one, and that plate that goes in, that goes over here. And do we see our first problem there? Oh dear, we do. That's gonna be I did really not want to do that. Well, I guess it's a good thing that we got up early. There is the slight chance that this might work anyway, that the old one will work with the new lock. Well, let's see how that goes. Need to take the old lock out. I put this in. This was a lot of trouble. That was no fun whatsoever to put that in when I did that. I do hope I don't have to put it in again, but I'm gonna be careful not to break anything, because yeah, if this becomes a total failure, I might need it. Oops, there we are, we are on our way. So in here there are 2 screws to have the actual lock come out. So we need to remove those as well. There we are. There's an Allen key on the bottom of the handle here that has to come out. It's not going to be easy to film that, but I'll see if the Allen key that comes with the new lock is also workable here. Yep, that will do the trick. I think maybe it doesn't have to come all the way out. Really? Okay, that's one of those tiny little screws that will disappear on you. And then I need to remove the handle. Oh, I remember how hard it was to get those screws to reach. I sure hope I don't have to put this in again. Yeah, that was hell to get that to fit. Back when I put that in, I'm gonna put those together so I remember if I mess up and I have to put this back in. There we are. And then we need to take the locking mechanism itself out. It's just hold in place with 2 screws here. And there. Very nice. Might have to remove some of the the wood here if the other housing is tough to get in. I've seen other people do that. So going into the lock housing here, these tabs are in the way for going in nicely. I think that's about it. These tabs are for that metal screw plate to be safe. I do believe these might just be I might just be able to bend these in, but I actually need the screw plate over there, so I need to remove some material in the frame over there. So I'm gonna try and see if I can do that, and maybe when I do that, I might as well try and remove a little bit on the other side as well. Just try and use a drill bit and drill a little bit up here, remove some of the wood. So now it actually goes in. It needs to be screwed in tight here, and I need to put on that cover plate. So let's just see that. I am actually so lucky that this lock is configured in the way that I'm gonna be using it. There is this thing out here. If I was gonna be mounting this on the other side of the door, I would have to turn this around. Right now the door comes in and it activates this. If it was the other way around, it would not be able to activate that. And there is a manual here of how to do that. There's a little Allen wrench in here, and from you unscrew it 2 times to give it 2 turns, and then you can take this out and turn it around, put it in again, and tighten it with 2 turns. And that's about it for that one. Now we put on this metal thingy here, and that goes on the same side of the screws. In my case, it covers up the outside, and it fastens into place with these little tabs here. So you put that tab down there, and there is one on the other end as well, and that's what those tabs are for, that we just had a lot of trouble with. How do I actually... So maybe this way. Yes, there we are. Now it's on there, and it has to be aligned really good because there is all kind of screws that has to go through here. So yeah. Also there's a cable that I need to mount, because inside of here there's actually a little motor that locks and unlocks, and there's a mechanic way to undo that as well. So okay. We didn't actually see that cable. It was tucked away down here underneath this lock thing. Oh, that was actually this way. So yeah, we haven't seen that yet, and I was actually just afraid that it was missing because I hadn't seen it either. So that goes on top of the lock here. But before that, I'm gonna make sure that this still goes in and out really good, because I have seen someone with a lot of trouble. This could really do with some tape. Just tape that tight. It's getting light now. It's almost day. So I removed a little bit more of material here, and now it kind of it doesn't want to, let's just admit that, but it does slide in and out. I think I can remove a little bit more without getting into too much trouble, and maybe I should also bend these just ever so slightly to make it easier for myself. Okay, I put in the cable, and the cable has to go through first, so we'll put that in like that, and then we will tuck the lock in very carefully. And I saw, I think, a Swedish colleague of mine, also YouTuber, and he broke the cable, and that wasn't good. And how do I prevent to do the same? It's not a lot of space there. If I put the lock in now, it's gonna pinch and maybe break that cable. I think I'm gonna take the drill and I'm gonna make a little notch for it up here, just a tiny one, and so that the cable can kind of go over the lock. On the drawing here, there's lots of room for that cable to go through. That's not my reality. I managed to get it in. I pinched this hole on the inside, so this is still the same, but I removed some of the material on the inside here so that there's room for this cable to come through and not get crushed. So far so good. I need to tighten this. I'm deciding that these must be it. So take them out of the packaging, and they are Phillip head screws. Cool. So you can of course use a electric screwdriver for this, but sometimes it's really good to get a feel of how hard you're fastening something. So yes, it's not totally straight. I should probably give it a tap there. And it's probably need to be harder than that. Unfortunately, I can already see that this one is not gonna be working for me. Yeah, right now the door isn't able to close fully because the lock is out. The lock would not normally be out like this. So I'll need to put this in. That's a shame. That's a lot of extra work. Now we have to put out the outside part. This is the one with the key lock, where you punch in a code, or you have your RF, well, what did they call that? Key tag, and show that. Those can also be combined, so you have to have the keypad and a password. So yeah, there is that. So we need to tell it where the handle goes, and we should be able to find some blue screws down here. That should help us to do that. Please, blue screws. And they go on. There, blue screws. So we need to put the handle in the position that where it has to be, and for it's gonna be that way, so it's gonna stick out that way. And there is some screw holes there that we need to put those blue screws in. And that's a Phillips. Cool. So I think I'm gonna take this opportunity to try and wash some of this off and make it look ever so slightly less dirty. Probably the whole door should have been painted before putting this on, but well, it's almost freezing out. Oh, it's not almost freezing, it's cold outside, but so we're not gonna do that. It's gonna look a little bit nasty. I did see a video where there's a cover plate available for this lock, but well, I haven't got that, so less nasty will have to do. So there is a safety mechanism so that this handle can actually turn and do nothing, because it's not really connected to the inside. So this tab here goes into that square in there, so we need to measure that is actually long enough, and it is. It's gonna do just fine. I need to put this cable through up here. There's a slot right there. That cable goes through there. Also there's a piece of tape here that needs to be removed, and I kind of need to try and put it in straight. So that's a lot of stuff at the same time. Let's try it on for fits first. There. That's not bad. Yeah, but I forgot to remove that tape, didn't I? So we're just gonna do that. I have no idea what that tape is for, but you remove it, and I don't have to worry about if it's straight or not, because it's only able to sit as it is right now. So the inside part, well, it has a rubber thingy here, but the back plate actually comes out. So we can fasten that first. We need to fasten this, but the cables need to go up, and they supply a bracket here to do that. So you mount this bracket here and have the cables go up like that, and the screws goes in here and fasten the outside. So we need to get that, and there is something to screw into. Awesome. And there's another one, of course. And we have to be careful not to ruin the cables so that we don't pinch them and break the connections, because then we will, yeah, that's not gonna be any fun. So there are different lengths of screws in the package. These should be the normal ones. If you have a wider door, there are some that are wider in there as well. I hope these are not too long. The screws are too long for my not too wide door. Apparently I need to take off about 4-5 millimeters. Oh, that's a shame. But they supply screws that will do that, where it's meant for that you can actually take off a bit. Yeah, we have to shorten down 4 of these. That's a lot of extra work. Oh, they supply an extra one. They know how stupid I am. I know that I have to shorten 4 of them. This screw was too long, so these screws are supplied that you can shorten, and I shortened 2 of them just to start somewhere. And yeah, now they are about this long. And yeah, I started by taking this bit off, and then I realized, well, I need to take it off at least a little bit more. I'm gonna see if this will now do the job and go tight. No, they are still too long. We need to take at least, you can kind of see there is meant so that you can cut off a little bit. So we need to take a little bit more of this. Yes, it's definitely tightening. This one I haven't shortened that yet. I'm gonna take that out. I need to shorten that. I must admit that I have had some bad experience with these screws. The old lock that we took out, I actually overturned one of these. They had the same system. I do believe they were a little bit thinner, but I overturned it. So what I also did, I actually took and I shortened these screws that was too long. I took off that 5 millimeters or whatever, so I trust these a little bit more. But I got the measurements, so let's see if that won't do it for me. I tested them in the basement with a bolt, just to make sure that, well, I wouldn't strip whatever it is on the other side here. And there are 2 bolts that goes in down here as well, and I have also shortened those. Now that you know how long they have to be, well, it doesn't take as long. Okay, getting lazy. Okay, so now we actually have to mess with the inner part here. We have to kind of do the same thing. So when I get out, the handle has to sit over here, so I need to screw that in with a couple of screws. And there should be a couple of blue ones left, and there is these blue ones, and they go in right there. Let's see if I can find those holes. And we tighten those. Just tightening everything. I don't want it to be flimsy. So, did I mention this is metal? So there's a loudspeaker here, by the way, so it speaks to you from the inside. Now the handle is in the right position, but there are some other things that we need to configure. It needs to know if this is left or right-handed. So this switch will go forth and back, and as the handle is sticking out to the right here, it's in the right position. Also, there's a screw down here, and I'm also just so lucky that that screw is in the right position. You can kind of see it, maybe you can see it, but it is actually in the right position. So I'm just gonna make sure that's tight. It's tight. Then this has to be the right length. I don't know that yet, but that's not too hard. But this thing that does the locking and unlocking, that needs to be shortened a little bit. So yeah, I'm so unfortunate that this thingy is also too long. I'm so fortunate that they deliver a shorter one that I'll have to put in there, What I have to figure out, I think I need to get that locking ring out of there, and then it will kind of, I have no idea what they thought about there. I need to take this out, and I of course do not have locking ring thingy, so I'm gonna be trying to do that with a regular piece of pliers, and that's where this thing usually goes pling and you never see it again. That wasn't easy, and I spared you for all the swearing. So this locking ring needs to come out of there, and then the handle will slide back like that. We need that thing to stay there, and now we can release this regular Phillips screw, and it's spring loaded, so I don't know what's gonna happen, if it's gonna say pling, and we didn't see that again. Oh, it's fine. So now where did I put the other one then? Here is the other one, so let's put that in. Push it in and put the screw back. Tiny system. There. So now it's shorter than this one. Something like that. Hope that's enough. Otherwise we'll have to grind some of it off. Then we need to shorten this thing. Oh, don't scratch it. And I found these. I think they are gonna be able to do the job. Maybe. Might not be the right tool for the job. I was so sure this was just gonna. No, that's not gonna do it. That's some weird metal they picked there. Let's see if this will do the trick. This one is gonna be missing in just a little bit. I know it. Really? Does it break? Okay, metal fatigue, that works. Yeah, that's why you watch YouTube videos. This is real life. Well, we need to get the battery cover off. There is an Allen wrench for that. Allen key. Let's get off. That looks like that inside. I need to put this back on with that locking ring, and that's gonna be a lot of swearing, and yeah, I'll go do that. Yeah, of course that wasn't enough, so I had to take off another pair of bits here. So now we're gonna try and see if this will gonna fit. I need to put in the cables, and I need to put 4 screws over here. Those we need to put those in. So the white cable goes in first. Which way does that go in? That goes in that way. Please go in that way when I tell you to go in that way. There, white cable is in. The black cable goes in. There. That's in. And that seems okay. Mingle this in. Seems alright. That's where we need the screwdriver and those tiny little screws that disappeared down in my pocket. I just had kind of a little disaster here. I was playing with this. I was measuring out how far the lock goes over here, and the handle just came out. I hadn't gotten that lock ring in okay, so yeah, I had to dismount everything and put it back together. So yeah, that was an issue. I am preparing this locking, the thing that goes over here. I have to take a little bit of wood out. I have to remove this. There's a screw like this, or bolt that fastens to the wall. So I need to make sure that goes in far enough so that I'm not gonna go in trouble or be in trouble with that. And then I'm gonna chisel it out. Have a chiseling set here. We're doing that. You're charging. Okay, so camera has been charging, and while you've been charging, well, I fixed this, and with my supreme IT skills and never leaving the office, well, this was no problem whatsoever, and I didn't make one single mistake, of course. Why should I? It took forever. This was shit. But I think we are almost ready to try and put some batteries in. I want to show you this because my door here is, well, it's a cheap, shitty door, but yeah, it's not gonna go very well. It never has. So, but it does close it, and it's kind of okay. It's not gonna go anywhere, and it also opens, and it's no harder than it was before, except now it doesn't go up by itself. The other one had a tendency to do that. I really had to lock that or pull it hard for it to not do that. So yeah, it's actually an improvement. I need to make this prettier at some point. So now we are ready to put in the batteries, and the first thing it's gonna want when it gets a brain of its own, or when we turn on the brain for it, I have to select a master code, so that I have a code that will open the door always, I hope. And it should start talking to me when the last battery gets in. So let's hear that. It should start up in English. Let's hope so. And the loudspeaker is right here, so we should be able to hear that.
Enter a new master code, 6 digits. Confirm with the P button.
Okay, I'm punching in my secret code here. There. And the P button is here.
Completed.
Cool. Here is a space where you can actually put in a smart device. The lock can communicate with other home automation stuff when you get that, but it's kind of a brand of its own. I'm not sure yet if I'm gonna go that route, but yeah, let's oh, this has gotten dirty. Let's put this in and lock this up. Probably we should try and lock the door. I think it's that one. It's still not locked. Okay, there's an internal alert system in it as well. I did not know that. Probably have to punch in my master code then. Yeah, that worked. You punch in the star and you enter the code and you end it with the star again. So cool. So let's check it out here on the inside as well, and you can clearly see the master carpenter has, or what you call that, has been working. So let's close the door here. There. It lights up green, which means that the door is unlocked. And well, I can just open it and everything is fine. Then I can turn this up, and it's locked, and now it does not open. So, but if I do this again, it becomes green and I can open the door. Awesome. Okay, so now I need to program this to put in more passwords and stuff. So I've just been reading the manual. So you do that by pressing this button and putting in your master code. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna cover your eyes.
Menu mode. Choose submenu. Confirm with the hash key.
Okay, so we're gonna go into number 1.
Language setting mode.
Okay.
Confirm with the hash key.
So we can set the language here.
Test 1 för dansk. Tryck 2 för norsk. Tryck 3 för svenska. Press 4 for English.
I'm gonna keep it at English.
English mode. Confirm with the hash key.
And
completed.
Cool. So I set the language. I was really meaning to press number 3. So yeah, we're gonna try that again. So cover your eyes.
Menu mode. Choose submenu. Confirm with the hash key.
3.
Registration of user code.
Yeah.
Confirm with the hash key.
I want to punch in some more codes.
Press 1 to register user code. Press 3 to delete.
So I can enter a new code here and I can delete an existing code there. So we are adding one.
Registration of user code. Confirm with the hash key. Choose a slot for the user code 1 to 10, 2 digits. Confirm with the hash key.
Okay, you can apparently put in 10 keys and you have to call them 01, 02, 03, so forth. I don't know if 10 is the maximum, but 01.
Enter user code 6 digits. Confirm with the hash key.
Cool. So I'm gonna cover your eyes and I'm gonna give it a 6-digit number. And it shows me the bloody thing.
Confirm with the hash key or press the star key for additional registration. Completed.
So I want to be able to use these locking mechanisms here that I can just have in my keychain instead of the key. I've already removed the key, but I can just have that in my keychain and I can show it up and it will unlock the door. So we need to program that as well. So we need to go into program mode and punch in the master code.
Menu mode. Choose submenu. Confirm with the hash key.
That should be menu number 4.
Registration of electronic keys. Confirm with the hash key.
Yes, we want to do that.
Press 1 to register key tag. Press 3 to delete. Press 4 to register remote control. Press 6 to delete.
So we're gonna register one of these.
Registration of key tag. Confirm with the hash key. Choose a slot for the key tag 1 to 10, 2 digits. Confirm with the hash key.
So the same thing as the user key, it needs a slot to put it in. So we're gonna put it in 01.
Register key tag.
We're gonna put that up here.
Enter optional pin code 4 digits. Confirm with the hash key.
So I want this, I just want it to open the door when this key closes to the door. So I'm not gonna punch in the 4 optional pin codes.
Confirm with the hash key or completed.
Cool. So now I want to see if this works. So let's lock the door. It's locked. Oh yeah! Okay, it takes longer to register this than I had hoped for. Okay, it works. So I also want to have so that it's possible for me to lock someone else in. So I want to register another key card here. So I'll try that. And that master key.
Menu mode. Choose submenu. Confirm with the hash key.
Number 4.
Registration of electronic keys. Confirm with the hash key. Press 1 to registration of key tag. Confirm with the hash key. Choose a slot for the key tag 1. Register key tag. Enter optional pin code 4 digits. Confirm with the hash key.
And I'll enter a secret password for that as well.
Confirm with the hash key or press the star key for additional registration. Completed.
Cool. So let's see if this works. Cool. Okay, that took way longer than I had anticipated. So, but I have my new lock, and clearly it's working. So that's a win. So yeah, just cool. I did cheat, and I unlocked this door so that if I locked myself out, I wouldn't have to do something stupid like get in through the window. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so you can see me again, and have a really nice day. Bye bye.